Hi there, my name is Stuart from Marshall Music, and tonight on Stu Speaks With, we have with us Eustace Wilken. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks,
Eustace.
Stu.
Really good to see you.
Nice to
It's
be
been
here.
ages.
It has been.
Eustace is the brand manager for Yamaha Brass and Woodwind, a position you took up almost a year ago?
2 years.
2 years ago, wow. Before that, Eustace was in retail for a good 13 or 14 years at Marshall Music. Really revolutionized the brass and woodwind sort of, sections and retail experience in this country tremendously. You did a really good job. Marshall Music invited him to come and chat with us for a bit about, maybe a little bit about his career and his past, but we really want to get into his new position at Yamaha. So tell us firstly briefly about your trumpet playing and musical instrument career. When did you start playing?
Okay, so I had a bit of a slow start. I started late in life. I was just short of 19 when I decided to play the trumpet, and had the honor of studying with Robin Finlay, arguably our best trumpet player South Africa's ever produced, a man that I respect and love dearly. And then ended up spending 7 years in the Air Force Band, where really my career started, and loved the trumpet. It's a tough instrument, I'm sure people know. It looks very simple with the 3 valves, but it's pretty tough. And had the joy of working with great players. I played with the orchestra for a bit. Then I took a bit of a break from playing. Life happened, and I didn't play for 7 years. After that, I got back into it, and I started working for the Barnyard Theatre. In those days, we were doing 6 shows a week. It was fantastic.
Good old days.
Good old days. It was incredible to play 6 nights a week, and your shirt half open, dances all over the place, and having to memorize charts and learning to play without music in front of you.
Did they insist on that at the Barnyard?
Yeah, well, the fact is, it's a show. People don't want to see you with a nose, especially one like mine, in the music. So so that was a bit of a wake-up call, a slap-in-the-face wake-up call. And it was great. It really changed my appreciation for music. Of course, coming from the classical, and before that, the military band background, playing shows, that sort of thing was really new, was fresh. I absolutely enjoyed it.
I think you did quite I mean, not a lot of classically trained guys adapt to the sort of jazz and pop and rock thing like you. I mean, you did pretty well, sort of just jumping straight in there. Yeah,
well, I mean, in South Africa, people are very focused. They're either doing classical, or they do the light music and jazz. We have some incredible trumpet players in South Africa. Of course, I won't name any names in case I get a million phone calls. Why didn't you mention me?
Yeah.
But some great players that obviously cross over. The industry is fairly small, especially the trumpet industry. And the guys have to be very, very versatile. I'm happy to say that most of the top players in South Africa play on Yamaha trumpets. So, of course, we make a spectacular trumpet Yamaha, a great range as well. But
we'll talk about that in a minute, yeah.
So then, of course, work dried up a little bit with the Barnyard. I was offered this position at Marshall Music 16 years ago, when the late Johnny Marshall was still here, who then became like a father to me. And yes, together we built a fantastic brass and woodwind department, and I was given great opportunities. I always say to people, it's got nothing to do with me. I was put in a fantastic spot, and we ran with it. So yes, it was fantastic. And then one day I decided there's really not enough work for me as a trumpet player, and I'd worked with so many great sax players in the Barnyard. I thought, let me try this. And of course, I don't give myself out as a monster sax player or trumpet player for that matter. But I was saying to a student the other night that I feel that the sax actually saved my life. There's lots of things on the sax I can do that I could never do on the trumpet, and maybe
explain that a little. That's a very interesting point.
I feel that even today I still play in a big band, and I still do a fair amount of trumpet playing, but I just feel that I never got to a place to express myself on the trumpet the way I hear certain people do. And again, I'm referring to local people. I listen to some trumpet players and I go, oh man, if I could only have that sound or that technique. But with the sax, it's a little bit more of a forgiving instrument. And maybe a lot of sax players will hate me for saying so, because a lot of people still think of me as a trumpet player. And I'm very realistic about it. But I find that the sax, the very nature of the instrument is a little bit more forgiving. It's a linear instrument, so in terms of fingering, it's weird. It's almost like the sax is easy to start with, and then it becomes hard
to take it to the top levels. Yeah.
You get involved with a variety of options on mouthpieces, reeds, ligatures, not even to talk about the instrument itself. But that happens down the road. But I have a number of students that within the first year they do really, according to me, fantastically well, and it's it's a great instrument. So for me, it gave me a lot of freedom to express myself. I love the sound. I'm a big Phil Woods fan. There's a couple of local players again that are just spectacular. And even when it comes to improvising, what I could never do on the trumpet, funny enough, with those 3 valves, I find easier on the sax.
Okay.
And really the instrument saved my life. I absolutely love it. So then 2 years ago the opportunity came up to move over to Yamaha. Spectacular team of people under the guidance of Clint Waring, and a great bunch of people that are passionate about the product, and you know that we support all the retailers and we do our thing to build our brand as Yamaha. I say to people, I would never have accepted that position, being dedicated to one brand, if I was not sold out to that brand.
100%.
So currently I've been playing on a Yamaha trumpet for many years, and my soprano sax is a Yamaha 475 Mark II. And then, as you know, I've just recently acquired a beautiful Yamaha.
It is very beautiful.
alto saxophone that has been tough for me to break into, but it's like a relationship for me. And I think a lot of people would have said, maybe this horn doesn't suit you, but really we have moments where it's
you just had a few mouthpiece and ligature and reed changes or what, and then it kind of came alive for you?
I wish I could have said that, but a very close friend of mine in Pretoria, I went to see him, and I said to him, man, I've got this problem with this horn, and he played it and he said it's absolutely spectacular. And he said to me, but I remember you having lessons with Robin Finlay on the trumpet, and surely you learned to breathe properly. So at the end of the day, I'm back to my original mouthpiece, original ligature, original reed. I'm just breathing, and the instrument appeared to require a little bit more air than what I played on previously. It's a very unique model. It's called the YAS 82Z, and then at the back it says UL, because it's an unlacquered model. So it looks, within a year of owning it, it looks vintage. This is not for the cosmetic or look, rather it's more for the warmer tone that it creates. And it doesn't have the high F sharp key, which is positioned where the key is down here on your right hand, but the opening on the body of the instrument happens right at the top. So Yamaha feels that if they omit that, the air doesn't get messed with. So the air going into the horn is quite
at the
stable.
beginning. That's important.
Yeah. And
makes sense.
So there's no tone hole there. And so it's a spectacular instrument.
So you're 100% at peace with her now?
I would say we're at 98. Some days she gives me a little bit of a kick in the teeth. And
that's a good woman.
And I'm enjoying that. At the end of the day, I still feel It's a two-way street. She's getting to know me, I'm getting to know her, and a number of great players in South Africa has played on her, and they all rave about her.
Cool.
So it's a great instrument,
Okay.
and I'm very grateful to Yamaha for entrusting me with this.
Okay.
This. Of course, they didn't give it to me. That would have been great, but it was a good arrangement, and I'm enjoying it.
Now, tell me, talking of all the technicalities, the keys and everything, tell us about your one of your roles at Yamaha in terms of servicing the instruments.
Okay, so
You've done some pretty cool stuff over the last year.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I've been given a great opportunity to run with a dream that I picked up on fairly quickly, and the key thing is that we feel, and I feel it deeply and personally, that if you are going to sell a product into the market and you are going to serve people, and let's be honest, we're dealing with passion. I know of a number of people who play on very expensive instruments and they battle to have a nice meal because that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
It's that instrument. And so I feel that we're dealing with people that love their instruments, they love playing it, and they deserve absolutely the best. And of course, Yamaha, we make spectacular instruments, and we have a department that services and repairs instruments, and that has basically been a request from Japan, and we fall under Dubai. So it wasn't just me coming up with a great idea, it was pretty much part of the long-term planning. So we opened a small service center, and there's ongoing training. We at the moment we're only looking after flutes, clarions, and saxes. He says
that's sort of 80% of the jobs, I suppose.
Yeah, the demand. So we don't do brass repairs. We don't do what is commonly referred to as the panel beating on tubas and stuff. We have great people in the country that take care of that. But I just feel that, and again, we feel as Yamaha that if we are going to distribute a product through our retailers, we need to give you guys the actual backup of instrument. I mean, the big thing is Yamaha instruments don't break, not easily, but accidents do happen, And of course, if we have a warranty issue, it's in-house now. We can take a look.
A lot of peace of mind for all clients.
And I think that is instilled in the greater industry that Yamaha is giving the full package on the instruments, and I'm loving it. I've personally got quite involved with it, and so
you've been personally trained by the Japanese guys.
I spent a week, 10 days in Dubai under a great master, Mizutani, who's a Japanese gentleman who can do with an instrument, I don't know, what Beethoven did to the piano. And I've seen him. We used to travel through the country. He's gone back to Japan now, but we used to fly in, and we used to travel to Cape Town Philharmonic, Durban Orchestra, Joburg Orchestra, the military bands, reaching out to these people that are playing Yamaha and doing on-site repairs and servicing, and reaffirming the position of Yamaha in the industry. I mean, let's be serious, the economy is tough, people are looking at different options, but Yamaha is the go-to instrument, most definitely. I don't know if you know this, but it's now voted that Yamaha makes the best French horn and best bassoon in the world.
And those are the two that a lot of musicians judge on, because those are super expensive ones.
Yeah, they're expensive. If you buy a competing brand, you're still in for a lot of money. So awesome. Traveling to these different orchestras and speaking to people, we also do a Yamaha maintenance seminar. So we would visit these institutions, and I will do a PowerPoint presentation on the Yamaha cleaning material for daily care of brass and woodwind instruments, and also for long-term maintenance.
So can sorry to interrupt you, but can viewers out there get hold of you to arrange those nice seminars?
Absolutely. I mean, and we are not driven by huge numbers. We will often get down to a military band and only see the woodwind players. So there might be 10 people. So if there's people out there that say, listen, I have a music school and I've got 10 people, we will happily arrive, and what we try and do is we obviously try and partner with a retailer in the area, like Marshall Music, and then we present this course and we explain the presentation rather. It's not a course, but we do encourage people to look after their own instruments, because there's a lot that you can do on your own instrument without running the risk of affecting the regulation or affecting pad heights or spring tension, all of this. So people can contact us as Yamaha, and
that also reminds me about another thing that you actually told me about a few months ago, and I think it's really cool, and I don't think any other musical instrument supplier is doing it, is the charity work that Yamaha do.
I'm sure. I'm
tell
glad.
us briefly about that, because I think it doesn't get enough
exposure. I'm pleased that you remember that. We, as Yamaha South Africa is owned by Bidvest, and of course for our social awareness. So we there's this program that Yamaha Japan has. Excuse me. And in Japan, every school child plays a recorder. It's not optional. You can't choose to rather go and do art of another shape, form. So this program was then launched into the world internationally, and like a country like Mexico has had this program for 40 years. And the distributor of Yamaha in Mexico sells to the government 500,000 recorders a year. That equates to over 12 million rand.
And
that then goes into the school system. So what happened is South Africa was the first country in Africa to receive this program. And what we did is we partnered with Toyota down in Durban. Yamaha and Toyota, of course, a long-standing relationship. And currently I head this program. It's called the Recorder Program, or the MP, Music Popularization Program. And we have core teachers in Durban, 2 young gentlemen, and we train them. Then they are now adequately trained and experienced to then go to rural schools and then identify life skill teachers, and those teachers then get trained by our core teachers. And then we have an official day where we have the launch, and Yamaha Bidvest then donates the recorders and the books that the kids, the young learners, learn from. So in Durban we have 12 schools, and it's growing yet again this year. And we are launching next week 6 schools in Gauteng, some in Pretoria, and then some in Johannesburg. And the same thing applies. And I do the recorder training. It's basic. It's to expose children to music, and the recorder being a fantastic instrument. So Yamaha is very focused on this recorder program.
Cool. It's great. I mean, spreading the love, spreading music.
We're in Nelspruit and all over the place. So it's really fantastic.
Okay, awesome.
Buy a recorder.
Other roles at Yamaha. What are your what are your other roles there, and what are your aspirations for the company?
Sure. Okay.
I know that's quite a big question.
Yeah. At the moment, I know it's been 2 years, but I'm still trying to put systems in place and make everything happen fairly smoothly. It's not as easy. It's a big company, a lot of responsibility. But again, it's a fantastic team, and it's a very small team, but everybody plays their part. So I would like to see that Yamaha sits in the market where it belongs,
which is at the top.
at the top.
Yeah, I mean it's the biggest musical instrument brand in the world. Yeah.
So and it's really great. It's a I know, I sound like a broken record. But again, I refer to what I said a few moments ago. I would not have taken this position if I wasn't. Bill Chapman, the previous rep for Yamaha, who's since retired. But
what a legend.
I used to joke with him when he came into the store, and I used to say to him, the day Yamaha invents or manufactures rather a toothbrush, I'll buy it. because that's how I believe in the product. So yes, my dream is to take what I've currently got, not to expand with too much new, but solidify and make a success of what I've been given now.
Yeah, brilliant. And then the other nice, exciting thing that I'd like to tell everyone about is that you're going to be doing some videos for us.
I believe so.
Showcasing Yamaha products.
Once the budget's been approved.
Of course, no, of course.
You know how you spell million.
No, that's fine. Okay. So look out for that, guys. Eustace Wilken doing personal gear reviews on beautiful Yamaha instruments, not guitars because he can't play guitar. Terrible.
Is that a musical instrument? Just ask.
In Spartan words. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for giving up your valuable time. I know you're a very busy man in the evenings as well, gigging and teaching.
And thank you for supplying dinner and...
No problem. Catering.
No, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Really nice to have you. That's all for tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers.